Databases held our data, but all of it runs inside a network. So this episode, Amazon VPC. First, what a VPC is, then public versus private subnets, then gateways, and security groups versus NACLs. So what is a VPC? A VPC is your own private, isolated network inside AWS. Think of it as a walled-off slice of the cloud that only you control. You choose its IP address range, you decide how to split it up, and nothing gets in or out unless you allow it. Everything you launch, servers, databases, lives inside a VPC. Inside the VPC, you carve out subnets, smaller segments of the network. A public subnet can reach the internet, that is where web servers sit. A private subnet cannot, that is where databases hide. You choose the address range, you split it into subnets, and route tables decide what talks to what. Let's make that split concrete, because the exam leans on it. A public subnet has a route to the internet, through an internet gateway. You put things here that the world needs to reach, a web server or a load balancer. A private subnet has no direct route in from the internet. You keep your sensitive pieces here, databases, application servers, internal tools. If a private resource needs to reach out, say to fetch an update, it goes through a NAT gateway, which lets it out but never lets the internet back in. So, public for the front door, private for everything you want kept hidden. Almost every real design uses both together, a public tier out front for traffic, and a private tier safely behind it for the data. Two gateways connect the VPC out. The internet gateway is the two-way door to the public internet, for public subnets. The NAT gateway is one way, letting private resources fetch updates without ever being exposed to inbound traffic. You met these back in security, now see them in the VPC. A security group is a firewall on the instance itself. It is stateful, so if you allow traffic in, the reply is automatically allowed back out. And it only has allow rules. A network ACL or NACL sits at the subnet boundary, one layer further out. It is stateless, so you must allow both directions yourself. And it can have both allow and deny rules, which makes it handy for blocking a bad address. So, security group, on the instance, stateful, allow only. NACL on the subnet stateless, allow and deny. Day to day, most people lean on security groups. To reach your own data center, two options. A VPN runs an encrypted tunnel over the internet, quick but shared. Direct Connect is a private, dedicated line into AWS, more consistent but slower to set up. On the exam, match the need. A web server the world must reach? Public subnet. A database kept off the internet? Private subnet. A stateful firewall on the instance? Security group and a private line to your data center? Direct Connect. Let's lock it in. A VPC is your private network, split into public and private subnets. Public subnets reach the internet through an internet gateway. Private ones stay hidden, reaching out through NAT. Security groups guard instances, NACLs guard subnets, and VPN or Direct Connect link the VPC to your own data center. Next episode, getting users to your app fast. DNS and the edge. Route 53, the DNS service that turns names into addresses. CloudFront, the CDN that caches content close to users, and the edge locations that make it all fast worldwide. Thanks for watching, and see you there.